I was busy scrolling through Facebook, and I come across this post by one of my friends. She's in a European country, and the post is about how if in Muslim countries women are not allowed to wear bikinis, then women shouldn't be allowed to wear burqas in European countries or Western countries. And I know this topic is pretty hot at the moment for a lot of European countries, and also for the Americas, who are receiving an influx of people coming from Eastern countries, from Muslim countries, from countries that are very religious. Now, one of the big complaints that I see people making is that the one religion is trying to impose a certain way of life or lifestyle on the people around them in the country that they are now moving to, the country that they've left their home country to go to. A lot of people are quite angry about this. And now the specific question that I was asked to address is, in a situation like this where people see what is best in different ways, in very different ways, how do you actually support what is best for everyone involved and what is best for everyone involved? Because there's so many opinions flying around that there is no one clear way except for either going with one or the other. So when I look at points like this, it's important to bear in mind that, okay, in the ideal world, there is no contention regarding religions and lifestyle, where people can live the way that they choose to live and don't have any desire to impose their views on anyone else. However, that's not the world that we live in. The world that we live in, or rather not the world that we live in, but the world that we've created and the humanity that we are. So as things are now, people do try to impose things onto each other. So, okay, what happens when we play that game? Like, for example, in that post. Because the comment that I made on that post that started this whole discussion was, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So if we play the game of, well, if they're trying to impose their ways on us, then we should impose our ways on them, or make it impossible for them to do that, and it becomes us versus them, all that's happening is you're creating more conflict, you're generating more energy around the issue, you're making a difficult situation worse, because all it does is make the other people angry, and it builds up your feeling of righteousness and your feeling of, I am right, my way is the better way, and they shouldn't be trying to do things like this to me. They are the ones who need to blah, 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 blah. And it becomes a very polarized topic, and it becomes more and more polarized the more people discuss it in that way. Now, there is no easy or simple solution to this. How I deal with points like this is, okay, first of all, I'll recognize that it is an issue that has a lot of polarity, or it's a very polarized topic. Okay, so first thing is, let me not be part of that game. I am not going to be part of generating energy one way or the other. So it's important to see, okay, how is this point being further polarized? What are the topics that serve no other purpose rather than to make one side feel right and make the other side feel angry? Get to know the point to see, okay, what is it that I do not want to participate in? What is it that is just making this more polarized? How are people talking about it that is just bringing out more reactions? What particular words generate more emotions? identify those points, and okay, now I know how the game works. And while I may not be able to necessarily change the way things are for other people, what I can do is say, okay, look, I recognize that this is a difficult topic. I recognize that everyone wants to create their life in a particular way, and that everyone has different opinions. However, what I will live and what I will put forward in my life, in my world, in my words, is that I am willing to compromise for the people around me, because not everyone is going to want the same thing. I'm willing to stand in your shoes and see things the way that you see them. I'm willing to be your equal, regardless of whether you see me as one. I am going to put aside, and I'm going to not create more conflict. I'm going to focus on finding the middle ground. I'm going to focus on finding solutions. I'm going to focus on keeping myself calm and not getting worked up about these things. So with regards to the specific point of, let's take that example of Muslim people wanting to impose their way of life onto the Western countries that they are now settling in. Of course, I see what it is that they want, and I understand why they want it. I'm not going to choose to live in that way. However, I'm not going to impose on how they want to live. I'm not going to impose on them wanting to create the home that they want in their home, to have access to their places of worship, to have access to their cultural stores, meeting areas, community centers, things like that. To each his own in that way. If someone invites me into their space to learn more about their culture, cool. I want to learn. I want to learn about everything from every culture, because I know that in everything in this world there are good things that I can learn from and I can grow from. There are principles that I can take from every person's life, from every religion, from every spirituality and approach and philosophy and everything that's out there. We can learn and use the things, the people, the philosophies around us as a way to grow, as a way to be better at understanding other people, as a way to be better at forming discussions and conversations and getting better at communicating with people who have different views to us. Because at the end of the day, we need to learn how to communicate with each other. We need to learn how to stand in each other's shoes so that we can create a world that works for everyone, so that we can make compromises when we see that there is space for that, so that we can give each other the space to create the life that they would like to create. And the one principle that I will always stand by is, as long as what someone is doing is not causing harm, why not let them do it? Why try to stop them from living that life, from making that choice? I can share my perspective. I can share what I see, why I live the way I live, why I see things the way that I see things. I'm not going to force anyone to comply with my beliefs. I want to learn about yours, and I'm willing to share about mine. I mean, that's what all these videos are for. So I think that's about it. If you have any specific questions on this point, then let me know. Post a comment, send me a direct message. If there's any holes you feel I didn't cover, let me know. I'll do another video. If you want to carry on with this discussion and share what you see in it, cool, do that. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and you're going to see me next time.